Are you a product owner who's struggling to define your product idea and wish that you had some sort of panel of experts that you could talk to and bounce your ideas off of and get some good, hard-hitting questions that would help you define, refine, and then fill in those questions that maybe some of your cohorts and friends and peers are maybe too embarrassed or maybe not smart enough to ask you? Well, my name is Albert, and I'm the inventor and developer of the project management process accelerator. And at PMPA.AI, I've got the solution for you. The PMPA tool is an AI-based agentic workflow tool that helps the product management and project management team take their project charter and business requirements documents and drive them to development-ready work items in minutes and not months. And today, I'd like to share with you one of our latest AI agentic-driven workflows that is what we call the Ideation Roundtable. And before we jump into the demonstration, let me just pitch it to you what it allows you to do. So, as I stated in the introduction, if you have a business idea that is not yet fully fleshed out, and you're really trying to get some input from, let's say, a CTO actor and a customer or customer stakeholder actor and a CFO, and let's say maybe your customer support-based actor, but let's say they're a little bit too busy, or maybe they're not aggressive enough or comfortable enough to ask you some of the hard-hitting questions necessary to help you develop your product idea. Well, we have a AI-based agentic workflow that will challenge you as you present your idea, and these AI-based agents are going to challenge you with those types of questions. And in the workflow, as we'll demonstrate in just a moment, the agents will ask you these questions, and through that, you will be able to see that features, value propositions, and risks and issues will be documented that allow you to, at the end of this workflow or any time in between, allow you to export these value points, and then you can generate your business requirement document and move forward with your project. So enough of me talking, let's get into the demonstration. After logging in to the PMPA app, you will land at the workflow landing page or the main workspace page. Here you will see a list of all workflows that are enabled for the user. Those workflows that are not enabled will show a lock emblem next to them. So today we're going to investigate the Ideation Roundtable page, so let's jump right into it. So the first thing that you're going to see here is the Choose Your Expert panel. You have the choice of 3 or 5 expert panel. We're going to keep it simple with 3 experts today. And we're going to choose the Chief Financial Officer. And so this expert is going to be tuned to ask about budget, return on investment, investment strategy, and so on. We're going to choose the Chief Technology Officer. This expert's going to ask us about technical feasibility, technical architecture, scalability, and technology stack. And then we're going to choose for our third expert, the Customer Representative. So this would be the end user that uses whatever idea it is that we're bringing to the pitch. So they're going to ask about pain points, expectations, and the end user experience. So now that we've selected our 3 experts, let's continue to the pitch. So at the top here, there's a business sector text box. And for now, I'm just going to leave it software as a service business solutions sector. Now, you could change this to what you like. You could change that to medical device. You could change it to hospitality, gaming solution, marine industry, auto sector, whatever you like. And that will also help tune and adjust your experts as they come to you with questions and guidance about your pitch. So down here in the pitch area, I'm going to copy in our standard pitch, which is about a web-based project estimation calculator. So just very briefly, it is a web-based estimation calculator, and it provides project scope, timeline, cost range, and basically it's a lead generation tool that is free for those online on our website or is available also for use by our internal resources. So let's start the roundtable. So immediately you're taken to the pitch roundtable, and in the center body of the screen here, you're going to have the chat body. So this is where you're going to go back and forth with the panel of experts. And then what's really interesting is going to be around the edges. You're going to see points of value, possible features, points of concern, and risks and issues. So let's explore that in just a second after we take a look at what the Chief Financial Officer has to say. So he says, this is an interesting concept for enhancing our sales and marketing efforts. From a financial perspective, I see the potential for improved lead generation and sales cycle efficiency. However, the freely available aspect means we need a very clear path to demonstrating tangible financial returns. My primary concern revolves around how we will quantify the return on investment for this significant investment. So let's respond to him. I believe with today's AI-based coding tools, the cost of this should be very low for the initial build, and over the long term, the maintenance costs should be low. Bigger picture, we will be using this tool in-house for estimation, and that should offset any costs from an operational perspective. Any leads we generate would be icing on the cake. So let's send that off. So now our Chief Technology Officer has a chance to look at our conversation. All of our experts are involved in the conversation. It's not simply a one-on-one conversation. They all see the responses and the conversation, so they're all adding to it collaboratively. I appreciate your insight regarding the AI-based coding tools, potentially lowering initial development costs. While these tools can certainly accelerate coding, my primary technical concern revolves around the intelligence behind the estimation. How do you envision the estimation engine itself working? What kind of data will it leverage to generate these estimates? How will we ensure its accuracy and reliability over time? Building the UI is one thing, but the core value of this tool hinges on its ability to provide credible project estimates. You are the CTO, and I hope your team can figure that out from analysis of the thousands of projects our team has conducted here in our organization, looking at both the on-time and late projects to provide estimates using all sorts of fancy estimation methods. A little bit of a cheeky response, but let's see how our experts take that. So now our customer representative, so potentially that is the person on the web, or maybe possibly one of our internal customer users. From a user perspective, the credibility and perceived accuracy are absolute paramount. While the product owner mentioned that the CTO's team would figure it out, so it knows that I'm the product owner, the estimation methods based on the past projects, how will we ensure that users perceive these estimates as reliable and trustworthy? What mechanisms will be in place to build user confidence, especially since they won't necessarily understand the underlying fancy estimation methods? So they're attacking my cheekiness. So I think it's important to understand that building accurate, strong projects is not something that you collaboratively do where everyone just says, good job, thumbs up, let's give you an award. Strong projects are built through strong criticism, but criticism that's done collaboratively, where people are trying to get your project, get the company towards a common goal. And that's success, that's profitability, that's strength over the competition. So if you don't have a group of experts that you're working with who are willing to challenge these ideas in exactly this way, then your project's going to be in trouble when it goes into production and it doesn't meet these sort of standards in the marketplace. So you want this sort of interaction that is creating this bit of tension, this bit of conflict, but without having to be in conflict with real people. So let's try and answer the customer representative here by saying, most projects have some level of variance in them, And we will include that in our estimations and use several different estimation techniques to allow the end user to determine and know that there is a spread in the dates and durations of their project. To build confidence, we can show them some anonymized prior, I should spell that right. Let's see if we can get it to not atomized. Well, let's just misspell it and see if we can figure it out. Anonymized prior project data that may give them some confidence. Okay, let's send that in and see what happens. All right, so we're round one complete. So in the first round, we go to each of our panel of experts and they get to interact with us once. So let's take a look now as we go around points of value, and 14 points of value have been gathered already. Possible features, 18 possible features have been gathered. Points of concern, 16 points of concern. So simply in this first round of back and forth, our panel of experts have generated this list for us. Now, it's possible you could just stop right here and you could export this entire conversation right here and all of the points of value, possible features, points of concern, and save that as a file. You could then go and talk with your other business partners. You could maybe put that into another AI-based system and generate the next artifact in your business requirements process. Or if you're connected into Jira, you could push a button and then this would export into a new entity in Jira, and then you can continue with your business requirements process directly in Jira. So you don't have to do any copy paste whatsoever. And most of our customers are directly integrated to Jira, so there would be an additional button up here that you would just press and instantly it would go into Jira Project Management. So now that we got through round one, we do a randomization. So maybe it's the CTO next, maybe it's the CFO next, but basically it's gonna continue to ask and probe, and you also have the chance to ask them some questions, so you could go through some back and forth. Now, let's say at some point you're tired, you need to do some research, you feel a little beat down because they've asked you a lot of very challenging questions, or you've got another meeting or a phone call, and you can't continue right now. So simply just leave the roundtable. Now, you do want to get back to that. You want to continue the roundtable, so you go back into your ideation history workflow, and you can choose, for our last one that we looked at, we can just simply continue, and it'll load back up exactly where you left off. And so here's where we left off at round two, starting with the Chief Technology Officer, and you can continue your conversation. Well, I hope that was a compelling video and example of how you can use the PMPA tool to take your whisper of a product idea or project idea and turn it into a more full-blown idea that you can get funding and project approval for. So now let's take a moment to talk about why would you want to use the PMPA tool and not maybe just a chat-based AI system to do effectively a same or similar activity. So number one, the PMPA tool is designed as a real one-button, ready-to-go tool. So as you can see, the interface, very clean, very simple. So if you have a product team or project team that is not very savvy with using AI, then this is a very simple, straightforward tool for them to use. They pick their experts, either 3 or 5 experts, they put in their project idea, and then have a very simple chat conversation, and then export the results. If you have a very savvy AI user base, then maybe the chat-based type of structured conversation that's very customizable, maybe that is the tool for them. But think about the time that goes into that. With the PMPA tool, we do all of the work in customizing and preparing and tuning the panel of experts. And I'm not going to give away all of the trade secrets behind the scenes, but those panel of experts aren't flat and static. We do a little bit of magic behind the scenes to make sure that those panel of experts are exciting and challenging. So if you want to do that same, yes, you could make some exciting panel of experts, but we try and make make them very valuable behind the scenes. The next thing is the saving of that chat, of your ideation panel. So if you're in a chatbot situation, some of these AI-based chat panels may not save everything accurately. It's possible to lose that chat history. We make sure that we store it securely, we encrypt it, we save it for you. And then that can become a history for you in the case that there's litigation in the future asking about where did you come up with these ideas? Were they from an AI engine? Did you steal them from someplace? So there is history and record of where this ideation came from. If there's some sort of patent or intellectual property dispute, you have a basis of record of where, when, and who this came from. So that's pretty nice as well. I think just personally in using our tool and designing our tool, I think our tool is a little bit easier to use overall and share on teams and with other project members. But what I really like and appreciate about our tool is the design, layout, and export of the value points, the function points, risk and issue points, and areas of concern. And if your project team is integrated and uses Jira and you sign up with us and you integrate directly into Jira, the one-button press export of taking all of the results from those 4 boxes in the corner and exporting that directly into a business object in Jira saves all of that copy and pasting you might do otherwise. And looking at the rest of our, if you're familiar with them, all the rest of our business workflows in the PMPA tool allows you to continue your business processes with the project management process accelerator. So I hope that was compelling enough for you to think about investigating the PMPA tool and maybe even reach out to us and ask us some questions. And so with that, I thank you for your time and I wish you good luck and have a great day.